Hello everyone. We really miss you being at school. I miss your happy faces and your smiles and your chatter, but I know you're learning some great things at home and really have adapted well to learning in a different style as well. So well done for that. I asked if I could read you a story because I miss that contact, and I found a really interesting story to read to you, and it's called Arania. And it's about a spider. And I don't know if you know that spiders belong to the arachnid family, so I'm assuming that's where the name comes from. This story is written by Jenny Wagner and the illustrations are by Ron Brooks. Arania stood in the wind, spinning and spinning. A fine silk thread lifting up into the air and hanging there, caught on the wind. The wind lifted it up. Arania clung to her thread and floated with it. For a whole day she swung in the wind, swinging and blowing, wherever it took her. Then she landed on a lilac bush in somebody's garden. She crawled into the curl of a leaf and made herself a hiding place and waited. At dusk, she crept out and made her very first web. First the cross piece, then the frame, then round and round the long spiral until it was perfect. In the morning the web was still there, but only for a little while. Very early, before people were out of doors, Arania tore it down so that no one would see it. Then she hid in the curl of her leaf and waited till dusk. Through many still summer days and nights, Arania built her web and broke it again. No one saw it, and no one even knew she was there. Sometimes, very early, when the boys were going to school, they saw it, and they swished sticks through it and broke it. Sometimes, when their mother was hanging out the clothes, she felt fine silk threads on her face, and she said, "Ugh, a spider's web." But no one ever saw Arania until one night near the end of summer. Arania knew that night there was something wrong. The cross piece for the web would not catch properly. Again and again she threw it out, but the air was damp and heavy, and the thread would not lift. She made the web as well as she could, but it was not perfect. Then she curled in her leaf and waited. The sky turned black, but no stars came out. Everything was very still and very quiet. Presently, a wind came up, and Arania felt the line sway under her feet. The wind grew stronger, and a piece of the frame came loose. Arania tried to mend it, but the wind tore it away. The lilac bush shook, and the trees in the garden rattled and hissed. Then all of a sudden, at once the sky cracked open. It split from top to bottom like a rotten orange thrown against a wall. For a moment the garden lit up like day, Then the rain came down. Arania ran for her leaf, but the rain blocked her way. It poured down steadily and heavily, knocking her over whichever way she ran. She dropped to the ground and crawled under the bush, but there were streams of water there too, running every way. She clung to her line for a moment, trying to climb up for shelter. Then she found herself in the fast-running water, with the thread floating, useless, behind her. There were sticks in the water and blades of grass and leaves, and Arania caught each end of them in turn without finding help. Then the water slowed down and spread out. Arania crawled onto the back step of the house. She rested there for a while, and when she felt strong enough, she crawled a little higher. She crept under the crack of the door and into the house. She climbed up and up, looking for a corner to hide in. And suddenly everything was white. Arania clung to the wall and did not move. The dark corners were gone. There was nothing but a smooth white wall. She climbed a little higher and waited for a moment. Then she fastened her line and dropped. She ran over the floor and into the shadows, and then she crawled into the laundry. She found herself a safe, dark hiding place and waited. She waited all that night and all the next day, and at dusk she crept into the garden. She found the lilac bush and her curling leaf with the lining of silk she had made for it. She pulled the edges more tightly together and spread more silk inside. Then she crept out and made her web. First the cross piece, then the frame, then around and around the long spiral until it was perfect. I hope you enjoyed the story of Arania. It's a great story, and next time you see a spider's web, think about how carefully and how lovingly it's been made. All right, have a wonderful day, and I've really enjoyed sharing this story with you. Bye for now.